Hey, fellow fans, let me tell you the story of cricket. Or should I say, the journey of cricket? Cricket has had a complex and tedious history. Well, I'm not going to talk about the history and bore you guys, but we'll share with you about my chats and conversations with more than 60 legends of the game on how the sport has evolved from then to now.
What is a good sport? What is cricket? Why would people want to come and watch cricket when there's a contest between bat and ball? If there's no contest between bat and ball, might as well just put a bowling machine there and keep telling batters to keep hitting out of the ground. So you want to have that competition. You want to have probably prepare wickets which has something for the new ball bowler or something for the spinners as well. So I feel that I think one day cricket has become too batters dominated.
Everyone wants you to play some different 360 shots. We have never done that. Old school player था, मेरे coaches वजह से I wanted to play for longer time of my country. लेकिन आप देखेंगे look at Maxwell, look at सूर्य कुमार यादव, look at रिंकू सिंह और देखिए आप शुभमन गिल. उसके बाद जिस तरह से क्रिकेट चेंज हो रहा है, वो जिस तरह से fearless approach आ रही है.
And what was key for me, after getting dropped in the international level, I motivate myself and I tell myself, once I get back in the international team, the West Indies team, I was never going to look back. So the consistency from there was pretty much key for me as well.
वो एक तरीके से खूबसूरती भी थी क्रिकेट की. लोग एंजॉय भी करते थे उस चीज को. बाउंसर्स हो रहे हैं, शॉट्स लग रही हैं, एक दूसरे को आंखों में आंखें डाल के देखा जा रहा है. बहुत सारे पाकिस्तान इंडिया के इस तरह के मैचेस हुए. ऑस्ट्रेलिया पाकिस्तान, ऑस्ट्रेलिया इंडिया के बहुत सारे मैचेस इस तरह के पास्ट में स्पेशली टेस्ट क्रिकेट के अंदर हमें नजर आए और जो कि खूबसूरती थी. मैं तो कहता हूँ खत्म नहीं होनी चाहिए.
Let me begin from the beginning. Cricket started in Britain and spread across the world as the British Empire expanded its footprint. Basically, they took the sport along with them to the colonies they ruled. Over time, however, cricket became a symbol of resistance as well as an equalizer, where those colonies could take on the British Empire in a game of cricket at least. The game offered a level playing field beyond the borders of class, caste, and color. British Empire virtually ruled cricket for over 200 years, like they did over various colonies. Actually, they had proxy control over the sport. The custodian of cricket, ICC, started off as the Imperial Cricket Conference, a name which it retained all the way until 1965. I'm sure this name gives you a clear hint of what I meant when I said the British ruled the sport. In 1965, the Imperial was changed to International, as new members beyond just the British colonies were included. Later in 1989, the International Cricket Conference renamed itself to the International Cricket Council, the way we know it today. Cricket, over the years, has also been a representation of soft power, authority, and national pride. Royal names like Ranji Sinchi, Patodi, King George VI, Prince Christian Victor, etc., played cricket like many other powerful authoritarians in that era. Perhaps it was a show of strength. I think it remains true in today's time as well. Almost about 200 years later, the power center of cricket changed hands. England then to India now. Isn't that true? I'm sure a lot of people did not like that. This is what legendary World Cup winning player Syed Kirmani had to say about this.
Before we could qualify into the knockout stage, you see the media, the social media in England, they looked down upon us because West Indies were the reigning champions for the 79. They had won the World Cup. So they were the champions, right? No team, they were the champions globally actually. Any team which plays against West Indies, they would lose. Right, so on those bases, they were the strongest team. Then came in Australians, then Englishmen, then New Zealanders. Of course, South Africa was not involved with that at that time. due to the apartheid. So nevertheless, so on those basis, I think we were looked down by the social media.
Post 1983's World Cup win by India, the power started to shift from England, Australia, and perhaps West Indies to the Asian subcontinent.
Cricket became a religion in India, and we definitely, I'll be very proud to say that we motivated and inspired the rest of the weaker continental countries where they said, when India can win the World Cup, why not we? Then Pakistan took over, then Sri Lanka took over, we had the World Cup in Asia. So this is where we started building up, and our board of control, BCCI presidents and the secretaries, they started promoting what Indian cricket is all about.
Let me share 2 clips which will give you a clear indication how a lot of people did not like the shift. Hear it yourself when India won the World Cup in 1983.
140 all out West Indies. And the margin of their victory, 43 runs, as India race into the pavilion with the Prudential Cup theirs. Tremendous victory. Rank outsiders of 33-1 when this competition got underway. They've beaten West Indies twice, they've beaten Australia, they've beaten England. And they round off a fantastic fortnight by taking £20,000 in the Prudential Cup.
You can hear the tone of the commentator. Doesn't seem too happy. And now, hear these.
In the air, Srijan takes it! India win! Unbelievable scenes here at the bull ring. Dhoni finishes off in style. A magnificent strike into the crowd. India lift the World Cup. After 28 years, the parties start in the dressing room, and it's an Indian captain who's been absolutely magnificent in the night of the final.
You see the difference? That's what I call acceptance. With more than 1.5 billion fans from the region, the authorities had to bow down to the change. Cricket economy was boosted by the fans from the subcontinent region. Let's hear what cricket exponent K.R. Nair has to say about this.
When India was not even in the scene, nor most of the Asian countries, because England, Australia, and of course West Indies was something different. So everyone thought that is where cricket has to be, and still there are many people who still believe it should remain there. And in fact, you must be saying, when the World Cup was shifted after 2 editions, they thought this is a wrong move, because how can that happen? How can these kind of things happen? But because it happened, that is why cricket's still popular, because it reached to the masses. In England and other places, the cricket was not watched by so many people. Today, if India, cricket is a religion. In Pakistan, people die for it. And Bangladesh, I have seen when the World Cup was held, what turnout. Sri Lanka. If it remained somewhere in some of these countries, cricket would not have spread so much. And that is what has happened now. Cricket is global. It is growing. And that is so we should accept that it is a very good move and that it has moved on.
While early cricket traces its origin to British colonies, the sport is no longer dominated by one country. Over the past 180 years, we have witnessed cricket travel all over the world. Moving from Lords in London and MCG in Australia to sunny Sharjah and windy Wellington, or from Mumbai's monsoon to an arid Afghanistan, the sport continues to grow. One of the biggest criticisms that the sport has faced in its journey so far is that it has remained in the Commonwealth countries despite having been around for more than 2 centuries. However, now I see a new world order shaping up in the sport, with teams such as Afghanistan and Ireland showing promising signs. And with the recent qualification of Uganda, Papua New Guinea for the T20 World Cup, that spells good news for the game. I spoke to Kevin O'Brien, the global face of Irish cricket, about Ireland's journey from being an associate nation to participating in the World Cups to becoming a test-playing nation.
Yeah, it's changed massively on the field from a playing point of view. I think, go back to 2007 when we beat Pakistan on St. Patrick's Day in Jamaica. A team of a squad of all amateurs, maybe bar one player. A coaching staff of maybe 2 or 3. An organisation that maybe employed 4 or 5 people only. You fast forward to 2018 when we got test status. 22 fully contracted men's players, a staff of 20 or 30 paid employees in the office. Huge following in Ireland, huge following overseas. Obviously in countries like India and maybe less so in Pakistan after 2007. But just the complexion of Irish cricket changed. A full 360 degrees, and for me as a player to be able to say I played at the very start, when we were amateurs and played pretty much for fun. Obviously now professionals we still play for fun, but obviously it's our job, so there's more pressure to it.
With expansion of territories came a new set of challenges. Cricket had to compete with other modern sports that have a fixed time limit. A game of football, for instance, lasts for 90 minutes. The NBA limits the game to 48 minutes. Cricket's cousin, baseball, has an average time of 3 hours for each game. And a 5-day test match? When compared to other sports, test cricket seems boring. 5 days of cricket with 7 to 8 hours each day is pretty long. Hence, the limited over cricket came around, and the first ODI was played in 1971. But after about 35 years of the one-day game, it needed a further change to move even faster. The start of limited overs cricket brought a revolution, and the revolution was led by Mr. Kerry Packer. Hear what Vikrant Gupta, a senior sports journalist, has to say about that.
क्रिकेट जब शुरू हुई तो टेस्ट मैच पहला हुआ 1877 से, फिर जब भी टेलीवाइज होना शुरू हुआ होगा, मुझे लगता है कि एक इंसान जो क्रिकेट को बदल के गया हुआ है कैरी पैकर। अगर कैरी पैकर ना हुआ होता, वो वर्ल्ड सीरीज, रेबल वर्ल्ड सीरीज और उसके बाद वो टीवी राइट्स चैनल 9 ने ना लिए होते, आज क्रिकेट जो है वो $1 बिलियन इंडस्ट्री ना होती। द क्रिकेटर्स नीड टू नो that they owe it to him.
Actually, Kerry Packer not just brought speed into the game, but also brought in a lot of color. White uniform gave way to colorful uniforms. That changed the face of the sport forever. The first T20 international cricket was played in 2004. Since then, the popularity of cricket has been skyrocketing, with T20 leagues all over the world pumping the sport up. As the sport evolved to meet the demands of modern day audiences, this shortening of the game also contributed to further globalization of the sport. Over the past 180 years, cricket has seen many changes to the way batters bat, bowlers bowl, or even fielders field. With new formats, comes in new techniques and innovations as well. From Dhoni's helicopter shot to Dilshan's dill scoop, batting has evolved quite a bit. And so has bowling, with the dusra, slower ones and so many more. Some of the upcoming episodes on this podcast will share more insights from legends about the evolution of batting and bowling over the years. Today, even Test cricket is getting a new breath of life, with the arrival of pink ball and now baseball. Shorter formats have propelled the test matches to also move fast. Games are becoming quicker and more decisive and exciting as well. When did you last see a drawn test match or a full 5 days for the test match? This is what Boom Boom Afridi had to say.
आप देखिए ज्यादातर टेस्ट मैचेस के जो रिजल्ट है वो 4 दिन के अंदर आ जाते हैं, और मेरे ख्याल में क्योंकि वनडे और T20 के आने से टेस्ट क्रिकेट बहुत तेज हो गई है। अब पूरा दिन बैट्समैन बॉल छोड़ के नहीं खेलता, लेफ्ट नहीं करता, उसे जहां उसके एरिया में बॉल मिलते हैं वो मारता है। और बॉलर भी अब कंटिन्यू एक जगह पे बॉल नहीं करता, वो भी विकेट लेने के लिए आगे बॉल करता है, ये पीछे बाउंसर करता है, जिसमें बैट्समैन के पास इतनी स्किल्स आ गई कि वो शॉट्स की तरफ जाता है। अब क्रिकेटर्स क्योंकि रेड बॉल, व्हाइट बॉल और T20 की वजह से टेस्ट क्रिकेट में जो भी क्रिकेटर आपको नजर आएगा वो एग्रेसिव खेलते हुए नजर आएगा। वो अब टाइम नहीं जाया करता, वो चाहता है कि 4 दिन के अंदर रिजल्ट आए और क्राउड भी आता है, क्राउड को एंटरटेन भी करना है आपने।
This is what my friend Christopher Mofu from Zimbabwe had to speak about baseball and action in cricket.
You know, you talk about, just for an example, baseball cricket. People talk about this baseball. You know, every youngster now wants to watch Test cricket. When I started, I didn't, because I said to myself, this game, just watching, there's no people just leaving the ball, you know, all these things. For me, kids want to just see action. When they want to play the game, if they see action, now you're talking about T20 cricket, everyone wants to play cricket because they just see there is more action. At one stage you get bored, you just want to, but now when you're seeing a score, it's about 350 to 400 and another team is about to chase the score. It's so fun to see that because everyone, the intensity that is there just makes it even much better.
Furthermore, the arrival of BBL, IPL, PSL and several other T20 leagues have also contributed to the surge in cricket viewership. Not only have these leagues helped give viewership a boost, but they also help promote talent discovery. Another aspect of these leagues is the monetary benefits they bring in. I just mentioned about the Dil Scoop. Let's hear it from the creator of Dil Scoop, PM Dilshan, what he had to say.
I think I give you one example. When I selected to IPL 2008, playing T20 cricket, you know a lot of money. Then I don't think for our countries not paying that much money, but that money helped me to keep it other problem side. I focus cricket fully. That advantage, definite advantage. They can focus fully cricket. Thing is money. Everyone needs money to to survive their life. The thing is we are doing only one. Playing only cricket, we are not doing any other jobs. I think it's good involving money, paying good for players, then they can keep it all the side work side, then focus for cricket. A lot of youngsters came to India, a lot of youngsters coming through. I think that's good if you anyone in talent should pay and get the maximum out. Things people are watching. For my view, I think it's best money involved, one side.
Another major change that has happened over the past 10 years is the expansion of women's cricket. A sport that has largely been male-dominated has now opened up to women across the world. An increase in the number of women's matches as well as women's cricket leagues such as WPL and the WBBL have also contributed significantly to this growth. Let's now talk about technology in cricket. I've had this discussion with various cricketers and some very interesting views were received. Like other aspects of the sport, umpiring too is going through a major change and technology has played a major role in it. The third umpire came around in early 1990s, with the video playback being used to determine the outcome of situations where the on-field umpires were not sure. Let's hear what cricket exponent K.R. Nair has to say about this.
For me, I am a qualified umpire. Umpire is the sole authority of a match. It is written in the book. But is he the sole authority of the match today? No. You have taken the what do you call the human element out of sport. Now everyone is debating whether technology is good or not. Yes, now everybody wants this. Yes, review, which means you don't trust the man standing in the middle.
As the technology evolved, came in the snickometer, the hotspot, and several other new innovations. But along came controversies. In my conversations with legends of the sport, there have been views for and against. Bhajji Pa, Harbhajan Singh, had to speak about DRS.
टेक्नोलॉजी अच्छी बात है अगर आप गेम में आते हैं, वो
उसको गेम को आगे बढ़ाना है, थोड़ा सा लोगों का भी वो जो आप रुझान है ना वो दिखता है कि हाँ यार ये स्टंप पे बॉल लग रही है या नहीं. बट आई समहाउ डोंट गेट कन्विंस्ड विद DRS सिस्टम. आई एम नॉट फुली inclined towards this कि यार ये बिल्कुल सही बता रहा है, क्योंकि जो बॉल का बाउंस है ना वो जज नहीं कर सकता कि कितना बॉल बाउंस हो रहा है. और एक चीज़ और जो मुझे बड़ी खटकती है कि जब हम मोहल्ले में क्रिकेट खेलनी शुरू करते हैं या किसी भी वहाँ पे जगह पे हम क्रिकेट खेलनी शुरू करते हैं, हमें दिखाया जाता है ये विकेटें हैं, विकेटों पे बॉल लगी आउट. वो इतनी लगी या इतनी लगी आउट है. अगर स्टंप पे बॉल लगी, छू के गई या पूरी लगी वो आउट है. और अगर अंपायर ने वो छूती हुई बॉल को नॉट आउट दे दिया तो वो नॉट आउट कैसे? क्योंकि अंपायर ने कहा. फिर आप DRS को क्यों इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो जब DRS दिखा रहा है कि स्टंप पे बॉल लग रही है? सो इट शुड बी गिवन आउट देन. सो आप टेक्नोलॉजी को ला भी रहे हो और उसकी बात भी नहीं मान रहे हो.
Srishant had another contrary view.
I wish this much of technology was there when we were playing. I would have got lot more wickets, and we would have actually missed some wickets also because inside LBW भी कभी out देते थे. Caught behind जो out नहीं मिलते थे, but caught behind जो out नहीं मिलते थे. तो yes, technology if it used wisely, I think it's brilliant because you got to accept the change and don't depend on it completely.
Technology has made the game more accurate and perhaps too dependent on it, but it has also added more excitement for the viewers. Visual experience has really been enhanced with ultra slow motion replays and graphic representations. It has also transformed player training and preparation. By using technology and access to data analysis tools, teams and players are much better prepared than they were ever before. Use of data analytics like this was previously unimaginable. Hear it from Robin Singh, the coach.
I would say it works both ways, right? A lot of people like data, a lot of coaches like information, data, but how do you use it to your advantage on your ground is important, right? It cannot dictate the ability of somebody or what you have to go there and play. Even the opposition is looking at data, and there is always a counter for what you are planning, right? It's how quickly as an individual you understand the game.
This is a podcast that talks about how cricket has changed over the years. So how can we miss talking about one of the most radical influences the sport has had in the last 20 years? Social media impacted cricket in all possible ways. Players and teams have embraced social media as a way to connect with their fans at a personal level. Use of social media cuts across, offering glimpses into the players' lives both on and off the field. Another big thing that social media has done is that it has brought fans closer to the game, giving them a new platform to analyze the game and provide their insights and opinions, sometimes in a jiffy. But do you think the players have accepted it well? Different players have different views about social media. Here is what Praveen Kumar said.
हम ना ऐसे रोटी खाते हैं छुपा के. मेहनत भी छुपाने की है, मेहनत भी बंद कमरे में होती है. और आजकल लड़के ऐसा वो बॉडी वो नहीं चल. किसके लिए कर रहे हो ये? इंस्टाग्राम, फेसबुक ये हमने फेसबुक वो टाइम पे चलाया 20 साल पहले, किसी को भी नहीं पता.
Talking of new things happening around cricket, over the past few decades, we've seen the sport being played at Commonwealth Games and at the Asian Games. However, starting 2028, cricket will also be in the Olympics and will feature both men's as well as women's cricket teams. Wow, that would be a moment of glory. But did you know that this won't be the first time that cricket will be played in the Olympics? It was in the year 1900 that two teams participated in an Olympic cricket match where the French team faced off against the British team. France playing cricket? Yes, it did. We saw that long back, and for all we know, it may happen soon again. Before I conclude, I would like to leave you with a thought. Is there too much cricket these days? With bilateral series, leagues, events happening back to back or often at the same time, Does that leave any space for an off season? Like many others, I often find myself in a spot where there are multiple matches happening on the same day across different time zones. But is there really something like too much cricket? I am sure 2.5 billion fans would have their views on this. Here is what English cricketer Ryan Sidebottom had to say.
No, I think cricket's in a really good place. Sometimes you've got to be careful with the overkill. Maybe too much cricket can be there. I would like to see maybe finding the balance between Test cricket and all the other formats. Because for me, Test cricket is the pinnacle. I always wanted to play Test cricket, but every format now has a wonderful place in cricket, and especially T20 is played all around the world. Everybody wants to play it. So I think, cricket's in a really good place at the moment, and I think just finding that balance between all three formats to make them all really special, and everybody wants to go watch them.
Coming back to the title of this episode, or for that matter the podcast, 180 Not Out, I asked cricketers about their views on journey of cricket over the past few decades or more. Here is what Badrinath has to say about it.
It's aged well, yes, but I think it's aging a little bit like a fine wine. It's a little bit slow, but it is the game is changing, but I still feel that there is a lot more needs to change, and it needs to change a little fast. I think because it needs to grow, the game needs to grow. I think the World Cup still is being played with 10 nations. I think it should be played with 15, 20, 25. That's the growth for you. You have to take it on a world stage. And how do you do that? You make it more interesting. You make it, I am for one, मैं तो एक आदमी हूँ ये अभी लेके आया IPL में सुपर सब. It's a बहुत बढ़िया चीज, impact player. अगे impact player रूल लेके आया. I think अभी 11 लोग से 12 प्लेयर को अभी मौका मिल रहा है. एक और एक्स्ट्रा बैट्समैन उसका स्किल्स दिखा सकते हैं. एक और एक्स्ट्रा बॉलर को मौका मिल रहा है उधर खेलने का, और कोच को भी सोचने का, मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा ऑप्शंस है. सो ये सब चीज़ होना है, ज़्यादा इनोवेशन, ज़्यादा मतलब क्रिकेट को इंटरेस्टिंग और कैसे कर सकते हैं, ये सब चीज़ देखने का. येस, इट्स एज्ड वेल, बट आई लव टू सी इट एज लिटिल बिट मोर फास्ट.
How do you view it? Do you see it as an overkill? When more nations join the sport, this is only going to increase. Do make sure to comment and share your views on this episode. The show is called 180 Not Out. It is 180 Not Out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I will see you in the next episode as we discuss the rise of the leagues in cricket.
From humble beginnings, it started as a game. A battle ball, a field, and players with no fame. But little did they know, cricket would soon ignite a passion that would last through day and night. 180 not out, we're going strong.